Hi. Hi, everyone. I hope that you are doing well on this Sunday afternoon. I know I chose an odd time. I get it. This is kind of like being a caregiver. Life as a caregiver, I have to work around my mom's schedule. So this was the best time that I could find in the week to get on live and say hello. So, hello. I was thinking that because I hit the 30,000 mark, I want to thank everyone that had joined on subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate that, and I was so tickled to death because lately it has become a burst of subscribers that were mostly interested in changing your life, whether it's quitting a job or taking early retirement, things like that. That is exactly where it my mind was always going for a couple of years beforehand that I had made the change. Very scary, okay? Very scary. And I just thought that maybe I should take this time to talk with you guys and especially the new folks here. So hello. Hello, Audrey's. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. And I glad that you guys are joining. So I know that people are probably just now seeing that, oh, I'm actually going live. I've only gave a couple of hours to jump on, but here I am. and going around caregiving hours is just, I had to squeeze it in somewhere because I wanted to touch base with you guys instead of just being a recorded video this time. So if you have any questions for me, I just wanted to make this loose and light. And if you had any questions when it comes down to life after 50 in general, or simplifying life, and the channel is really about that, and fasting and weight loss, especially menopause, weight loss. That's what I'm here for, and I can talk about that as well. I've been getting all kind of different questions in the last, I'll say, month that has been pertaining to different things. One was like passive income. How do I make money non-traditionally from a corporate job? And then, am I retired? That's been a question. The other thing is asking about the hair, the afro, and I'll be glad to share what I do for my hair if you want to know about it, because I figure I'm not that girl that really does great hair demos and skin care demos because my routine is so primitive. I think it's primitive. There's nothing fancy about it. And so again, it's about simplifying, right? So I want to cut down all the steps and and just make sure that I can um, get it done quickly and get to my mom. Usually I'm hearing a bell ringing, could be 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, and then sometimes I just stay up. But I just gotta quickly get dressed uh, because the day just continues on, and I never really get downtime again because naps I would love to do, but I can't do it. So it just hasn't happened yet. Um, so, hi there, Rigsman. If that's correct, you asked what's your take on having at least $1 million to retire? Fact or fiction? That's a great question because I know I watch all the YouTubers that are, so-called finance experts, and excuse me, they say that yes, you had to at least have $1 million, and that's at like the age of 65. And uh, I'm not there. I'm not there. I'm halfway there, but I'm not there. And if you're talking about cash flow and savings in a retirement fund of some sort, so um, I'm not retired, so I am continuing to work. It's just that I'm working non-traditionally. So I believe that if you want to retire early and you're preparing for it, a few years in advance at least, to really, really save and invest. And so you can uh, get the compound interest of the money that you're investing in, like index funds, be a little bit aggressive there. If you can do those things, then I totally all for retiring early. Now, I've seen women and men retire at 50. I'm 55. So I've seen people do that. And what they do is, they're self employed. They work like a part time schedule. And then they use their bridge money, right, that they've already saved to get them through to at least Social Security will kick in. So they plan for the gap time frame. So the gap years. So for me, I guess a gap years I would consider if I'm going to take Social Security at 65, it is 10 years, right? But if I'm taking Social Security at 62 on top of whatever other pensions or retirement funds you have, then if you do the calculations and it makes sense, then the $1 million may not have to happen, right? At this time, because if you're still investing, you're still, building that interest. So, that shouldn't stop you from setting dates on when you think you need to retire or if you have to, especially if you're ill or something like that. So that's where I'm at there. That's a great question, though. Uh, I thought you couldn't do it, but I believe that you can without having $1 million. So you just have to be creative, right? And if we're having burnout, so I talked about that burnout in corporate, and in that video that I did about leaving my job, quitting, huge decision. So I quit the job, and I really had a theory about it. I was thinking about it lately, about the burnout theory. I believe that because we're in the technology revolution, right? The techie years. Um, we have AI, right? So that's really taken over a lot of the companies on the back end where they have AI systems put in place, even if you know it or not. Um, I believe that because of these infrastructures that are put in place, that the company doesn't have a mind, right? It doesn't have a soul per se, and that it's going 24 hours in the background, nonstop. So you start to think subconsciously that people should be running ongoing to try to keep up with AI, which is impossible, right? All of that's impossible. Human beings have to have a rest. So that's why I believe burnout is so prevalent today, more than ever, because we're running on machines and machines have basically taken over, right? So there's no way that we can keep up with that. And we are the ones that have to control our schedule, our lifestyle, and put our foot down. And if that means that, we have to take less money in the future, then that's what it is. Because I'm prepared to take less money of whatever I make, like here at YouTube. It's kind of my part-time job, but really the time I put in is full-time. So I was saying earlier that doing the short video that I dropped yesterday, that little short video that's less than 1 minute, it took me all day to edit it, all day. And I'm gonna say about 8 hours for 1 minute of video because I was trying to find clips. I was trying to make sure I'm matching kind of sort of what I'm saying so you can see a little bit of a visual what I do. And so putting in all that time, we don't have it. We really don't have it unless you know, your caregiving and all those duties are being taken care of. So I get interrupted throughout the day with my mom. So yeah, it took me all day to do that. So I see a question here. Where did you meet your husband? Oh, Mysterio. Mysterious name, Mysterio. Well, let's see. I met him online. Again, technology, right? And technology, we met 10 years ago, just about. And I basically, he doesn't like me to say this story, but it's true. He was talking to me online and I gave him my number, and he never called me. And it was about 10 months later, I think 9 to 10 months later, that I came back on the dating site, just checking around, and I saw that he looked at my profile. So I reached out again and I said, "Wow, you're still, circling around here. What's going on?" And then that's how that began. And he said he wasn't taking it seriously on the whole online dating thing when we first, started talking. So anyway, I met him, and he lived out of state. I'm in Las Vegas and he was in California. And so, but because my mom and my stepfather were there, I was there like almost every weekend because I was a backup to the caregiver on the weekends. So that's how we started dating. And so I would see him almost every weekend for about a year. And there you go. And you asked the question of, oh, thank you very much about my hair. I appreciate that. Yeah, I get, yeah, quite a bit of great compliments. I appreciate that. And there was a time I've always wore it straight, and even times that I even put extensions in because I was doing broadcasting at that time, and they wanted that look, right? The straight hair. And then finally I just gave it up and redid my photos and everything when I was going on auditions. And it was so hard to get a job back then. So we're talking about 15 years ago. So uh, now that's all they want is natural hair, right? You said cornrow sometimes. Yeah, I do the 2-strand twist when I wash it and it's damp, not too wet, but damp. And, the next day I take it out and then I fluff it. But sometimes that doesn't happen because, I work out, I sweat. So I end up washing my hair like twice a week. And, I just, sometimes I have to blow it out because I have to rush to go somewhere. So, you do what you can. Yeah, I try to change it up. It seems like you prefer the Annie look on YouTube. I don't know, what's the Annie look? Oh, Annie, the play, the musical. Yeah, yeah. I do. I do. Uh oh, well, thank you. Kim, I'm okay, so the question about that you guys have asked is thank you so much, Kim. You asked if, you know, thank you for saying I look refreshed. I had to talk my mom into letting me sleep a little bit last night. She, I think she let me sleep till for about 5 hours. Usually she's waking me up anywhere between 3 and 4 hours. Horrible, horrible. So I put a lot of concealer on. Yeah. So I'm not retired, Kim. So that was the question people were asking about. Are you retired? And what's up? It's too early for you. You're too young. No, not necessarily. My mom retired at this age, at 55. 2 weeks later, she had the stroke. So that's where, this is a milestone for me that I take it seriously about our health and we look at symptoms. Because the other day I was at urgent care because I was having pain in my chest. And you know, we usually ignore these little things, these pings, but it was like a jolt. And it was going on for like 3 days. And so I just went and they were immediately giving me EKGs, all the tests, and then I still have to follow up with the cardiologist. But because I have a lot of anxiety, right? Chronic anxiety, that can manifest into anything physically, right? So it's about paying attention to yourself. I don't think if I was still working in my job, I probably would have ignored it and not have went, even though it turned out fine. So anyway, we'll just keep working on that. Um, let's see. um, do I feel my age? Uh, oh, well, thank you. Okay, so you're black man, 53. Awesome. Yeah, you know what? I've always heard that. My father in his 60s would say the same thing. He says, I feel like I'm in my 30s. It's the body that breaks down, not the mind. If we can help it, if we don't get dementia or any of those things. Yeah, I'm right with you, my friend. But thank you for the compliment. Hi, Bill Clinton. Oh, that's funny. You have jokes. Um, well, thank you very much. And I try to keep it positive here because that's the thing. I don't, there's plenty of channels out there that you guys are all aware. I follow some of them, because I do like entertainment value. Whether they're talking about current events or talking about a little bit of Hollywood gossip or something like that. I know that's kind of my secret indulgence. But I don't want to bring the negativity on my channel. I never really did that. I started this channel 6 years ago, which is a long time for YouTube world, right? And it was always doing part time, but I never knew uh, how to really make it work as a full time YouTuber. But I couldn't understand how I could even fit it in when I was caregiving too. But my mom was a um, better health status at the time when I started it. And the reason why I started it is because it was for care for the caregiver. And that was the original, I guess, tagline to it all, taking care of the caregiver, self care. So I never really went away from that, but the fasting took over. And I started fasting then because I was like 25 pounds heavier than I was that I thought I should be at that time. And this is obviously perimenopausal, not postmenopause. And um and took that off within a month by just fasting. So I'm a big believer that fasting works, and even in any stage of life. At the same time, it helps give the digestive system a break so that you can really heal the cells, right? Heal your body. I do believe in holistic medicine also. I mean, sometimes we have to get different types of medication that may not be able to help that something was acute. So I get that. Um, so if you guys have any questions, I know there's men here, but ladies, if you have any questions, because I know there's been questions about menopause and what am I doing about that? I did a live about a year ago about menopause and how do you lose belly weight, and even though you're going through that, men, you guys have it great. You know, I believe men can stop one category in their diet, just change one thing and they're good and they're dropping weight. Us ladies, not so easy. We have to deal with plenty of hormones that are in our way, and anything can knock us off, like not having enough sleep and a lot of stress, right? So, yeah, I couldn't drop a pound in menopause for about a year and a half, due to hormonal imbalance, but also the high stress of being at the job. Yeah. I used to act. Okay, so the question is asked if I used to act. Yeah, I did. I did when I say act, I did a lot of commercial acting. I did over 50 commercials. Um, from the age of 30. I started late, so I wasn't like a teenager or anything like that. Even though I lived in Los Angeles, uh, I was busy on my way to the Air Force. So at that age. But yeah, and when I came back, I was going out to auditions, tons of them, and didn't have a lot of luck in the beginning, but more commercial acting. And I did a lot of extra work in film. I've been on a lot of sets. Yes, I've seen a lot of things and learned a lot of things. And I also found broadcasting, and I went to college for that. But I steered away from the traditional reporting. I was doing like entertainment reporting, red carpet events, movie premieres. So I was doing that kind of thing as a freelancer. So I wasn't really working for anyone specifically. Um, and then like in the hotels, like hospitality, like I would be like on a travel channel for the hotels. Uh, more than about, I don't know, 15 to 10 years ago, I think was the last time I was doing that. Yeah. So if you have any questions for me, guys, shoot away. I know you guys have been asking great questions. I don't want to keep you guys on long. I figured, I wouldn't, my max here is going like an hour, but I'm so grateful and thank you for helping me get to 30,000 subscribers. That was amazing because I think from that video of quitting the job, I probably gained about 3,000 subscribers, and I'm hoping that we can continue to keep you guys because um, of the subject matters that I cover. And I like to rotate around on the videos and make sure I'm touching on different things that matter to you guys. So, your comments I really take into account. So please keep it coming. Please do. Uh, it only helps me get better at what I'm trying to do. I like to think I'm a mini filmmaker. I'm trying to get better equipment because my equipment is kind of falling apart. I have like a to-go Canon camera. They call it a GX7, and it's old and it's like falling apart. And I have to get new parts and things, trying to keep that together. And then I have a larger Canon, but I can't really figure it out on these settings. So, yeah. Um, Hello. Oh, see me. Oh, happy belated birthday to you. Welcome to my box, as we would call it, right? 50 and over box. Yeah. And thank you for saying that. Yeah. I mean, do you guys like this format? Do you want me to come on live every now and then? It's up to you because this is, I gather information from you in the lives. It seems a little easier than just, posting a community post. I know the community post is great, just kind of let you know what I'm up to. But um, sometimes people don't see that in their feed in a timely manner, and you might see it a couple of days after. So, if you want me to do lives, please do say that in the comment. But if you want me to continue the long form, which I did see that in the community post, that almost everyone said, yes, continue long form videos. And do you like the shorts? That would be the other question. Do you like the shorts? Ah, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad it's helpful because I don't want to be on here if I'm not of any value to the audience, to you guys. Okay. Why be here? It's not just for my own amusement because I do love creating, but it's difficult to come up with ideas every week, right? And I see people just pumping it out like daily, and I'm like, but then they're not really doing any editing or, what we call B-roll, other clips. They're just talking. And I'm not a great talker. I usually have to edit all my you know, saying all the time. Ooh, I have to edit it out, drives me nuts. Well, loving choice. How do I keep myself present? I'm still working on that. I'm a planner, and so I'm always thinking in the future, and that's been pointed out to me. And my other half says that being a perfectionist is like not so good to be because just getting it done is better, right? Than being perfect. There's no such thing anyway, right? And creating content, yes, you have to do some planning. You have to, come up with the outline. Um, before I can just turn on the camera. And then I got to come up and think about other clips and things like that. So, how do I keep myself present? I would say going on my long walks. I have to do that. Almost the goal is 7 days a week, but sometimes it's five, But the walking helps me calm down, get present in the moment, prayer, meditation. It's a walking meditation, as I call it. And that's where I come up with more ideas of doing videos and things that might be helpful to someone. But you can't hear anything if you have a lot of distractions, right? And when I say hear, I mean spiritually hear anything if you're not present. So thank you for saying that, because I have to remind myself that every day to get quiet and eliminate those distractions. Good, good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to keep researching health for us, and health in general, right? And how do we enjoy shifting gears, and if that is a mini retirement, or is that a sabbatical even, because I thought I was just going to tell myself I'm just going to take a sabbatical so I can get my health back in check for a year. But I don't know, if I can continue to make some money, then it can be indefinitely, right? Mhm. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. You're right. 50 is, yeah, it starts to be a roller coaster. I know. I mean, okay, 55 now. So yeah, I'm just like, why are all these weird things showing up? All these weird elements, and you know, you don't know exactly when to ignore something. Those are the things that trip me out. I agree with you. I agree. Okay, I like that. I don't know if I can do once a week, guys, because I get so nervous about being on live. I do, but I love it. It's just that I want to be able to do long form videos, and then also. So if I can squeeze those in, Sundays maybe best. Yes, I agree with you. If I can squeeze those in maybe every other week, I would certainly do that. But I really don't know about weekly. But man, I appreciate you for saying that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You like it real time. Yeah, I'm with you, my friend. Thank you. Hi there. Es Rolly. Oh, oh, I'm glad to hear that. Well, I'm hoping hoping we can just continue that conversation, because I learn again from you guys too, and how do we get balanced on this crazy roller coaster ride of menopause, perimenopause. Yeah. Perimenopause is so long too. That's a long time in that phase, right? I mean, because I was hot flashing in my 30s, so that's when it started for me. Yeah. Mhm. Sure thing. Loving choice. I don't. I I know I know I preach that we need to get 8 hours, maybe 9. I just listened to this channel, Vintage Classics, I think, or something like that. I'll find it, but they do old video footage all the way back to like 1895. There's actually still video back then, and they recreate the videos, refurbish them. So what they do is they have video like from the 40s and 50s where they talk about women and how they should take care of themselves, and beauty and makeup and all those things, right? Self-care. And they were saying back there in the 40s that you need at least 8 to 9 hours for women, and especially young ladies. Yeah. But so if you don't have the interruptions like I do in the middle of the night from my mom, then yes, you should be setting a time for yourself to go to bed early, to try and aim for the 8 hours if you can. Men usually need much less sleep than we do. Yeah. But for us, we got to take care of those hormones to get the cortisol levels down. And I think the more we sleep, the better consistent mood that you'll be in throughout the day, and skin, right? And looking younger. Yeah. Thank you as well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I will continue doing that as long as you want to see me, and sharing all as much information as I can. I know sometimes I think I share too much, but I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. The Q&A does help me a lot. Yes. Yes, it does. Thank you. Yes. It helps me understand you guys. and get to know you a little bit, right? I know that I can't hear you, but um, does let me know what kind of audience and that you are and what you're trying to or what you need from me. If I can do it, I am going to. Oh, you went way out of my range. A healthier bread, yeah. Yeah, because I just don't do bread, with the exception of sourdough. So sourdough has less processing, processed foods I try to stay away from. So sourdough seems to be a lighter version of all the other ingredients that are being put in the other forms of bread, and I don't tend to gain weight eating sourdough. But also multigrain is one of the things. But I eat tortillas. That's kind of my substitute for bread, and corn, preferably than the flour, even though I like it too. So yes. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, it's a ride. Enjoy, enjoy, as we're getting older, but we don't I always think we're still a fine wine, right? We get better with age. Not only wisdom, but also you can still look younger than maybe kids might think is old in our 50s. It's not old though. We know that, right? I plan on being here till I'm 100. I have a grandmother and great grandmother, 95 when they both passed away. And they were a big part of my life. So I could spend a lot of time with them well into my adulthood. Yeah. So you never know. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I agree. That yeah, brutal. I would tell you, the mind is ripping all night long for me. But it started to quiet down when I left the job. And again, look, everyone, I can't say that I'll never return to a traditional job. It's just that my goal is to not return. Uh, but if I know I need to make money in a way that, I'm in a position that I'm really broke per se, and I can't figure it out, or I don't do YouTube anymore or something like that, then yeah, I would return to a job if, but that's the great thing about being on a so-called sabbatical. You can always get a job if you need to, but get a job that's less stressful, take less money. You guys are all leaders, I can tell, and you don't have to take the top position. I was a national key account manager for a very large account that was about worth about 150 million. I want to say somewhere around there, revenue for us as a company. And I mean, tons of locations all over the country. I could not do the travel um, when my mom's health is shifted. So I just couldn't do it and keep up. And so the mind was always ripping. And I didn't get sleep. And I'm telling you, it does age you. Um, so do what you can to, make an adjustment. Maybe it's taking a hard look at what you're doing, and maybe you have to, change what it is, right? Yeah. Are you kidding me? All day long. So, yeah, I have imposter syndrome right now. Yeah. Mm. I always think that somebody's going to find out that I'm a phony or in some way, because you guys only see like a 10-minute video, right? Give or take. And that's just a snapshot of my life, right? And I try to make it understandable and not too much clutter around, because I'm a minimalist, even though I do have clutter in certain areas like my office here. And I this room was created, my husband remodeled with his crew, and because he's in real estate, he likes doing these types of projects, overseeing them at least. And he actually created this room for me because I was working in the bedroom. So if any of you had been with me longer than a year, you might realize that I usually shoot in my bedroom most of the time because there's so much noise and distractions going on outside of that room. And but I also worked there and I had my desk in my bedroom. And that's just not the way to go for sleep, especially because you're thinking about it. You got computers around, your sleeping area. So yeah, but the imposter syndrome definitely, that's never went away for me. I think I can only remember like in acting in a play, and I mean, see, the last time I was in a play was 2001 or 2000. Yeah. And I did not feel like an imposter once I did it the first time. There was multiple days of the actual play. And once I got past the first day, because I thought I was a phony and that I was horrible at it, then you start to relax into what the role is, right? So I think we have to do it and just do it no matter how we feel. And then as you do it continuously, then you know, will lose that idea in your head that you're an imposter. I think everybody goes through that. So, yeah. Hi there, Vivian. How are you? Great photo of you. I love it. I love it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Living in New York is a run before darkness arrives. I hear you. Simplicity. That's right. Yeah. Be careful out there. Be safe. I love New York. It's like my favorite city ever, ever, ever. Manhattan, or Harlem. I love Harlem. What is that? Rooster, Red Rooster or something? One of my favorite restaurants there. Okay. Moving on. Bye. Oh, thank you for finding me. I like your icon. It's time to start living. Agree. Yeah, let's stop the nonsense and just live. And yeah, and stop listening to the noise. I on that video, I received some negative uh, comments about, you're too young or why would you do that? But very few. I would say less, 1% of all the comments have been negative. But you know what? I could just delete them, right? I don't have to worry about it, and that's okay. But thank you for finding me, and I hope you continue to stick around and, so we can engage with each other. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh my, absolutely. Oh, thank you, Vivian. Yes, yes, absolutely. We'll keep it coming. Hi there, Island Girl. Island Girl has been with me, I think, from the beginning, right? I want to say I always remember seeing you in your icon, and you would make pretty consistent comments. So thank you for supporting the channel. I'll keep doing it as long as you want me to. Yeah, you were from the beginning. I agree. And yeah, there's a difference, right? And when you start, you start and it's just a hot mess. I always felt like it was a hot mess on my videos when I first started because that was about, guys, I think I've done over 270 videos, somewhere around there. And you don't feel like you're any good, if anything, until maybe you did 100 videos. And then you're finding out all these new things and learning things and how to, technically, or a new editing system. I jumped on the most difficult editing system, not knowing, um, to teach myself, right, how to edit. And that was Premiere Pro. Premiere Pro. And those were all the large industry movies are done on that, editing. And I just that system, and I kept doing it for about 4 years, and then I changed over to Final Cut Pro. So if anybody knows about that, Final Cut Pro is like for Apple. Mac users, and that one is a lot user friendly in my opinion, and it does help a little bit of cutting down some time on editing. Yeah. Oh, excellent. Hey, great, Vivian. I'm glad you're starting YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, it's intense, but you can do things on the phone too. You can edit on the phone if you're using your phone for filming. And yeah, you can keep it very simple. You know, they got the iMovie app as well. If you have a Apple, if you have an iPad, you can do it there. I've done that too, and that's real more. I think very simple, and that's a good way to move into editing. Yeah, you know, cut and paste, right? Just think cut and paste. Yeah. So I've been asked to do like flexible income money streams, things that I'm doing to share more of that, but also any suggestions. Because I do have a list of flexible income money streams. So if you guys want to see that, do you want to see a video on that? And then I'll probably give a PDF that, you know, you have links that you can go check out yourself if you're looking to make some, you know, an extra money stream, you know, because I believe in having as many money streams as you can so you're not putting your eggs in one basket for one check. Right? Yeah. Yes, you watch a video. Yeah, someone to a heater. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. All right. I love it. Oh, very nice. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for commenting. Yeah, that's very nice. We try. Keep trying. That's all we can do. We keep trying. So, any questions before we do run? I'm not, you know, I don't want to hem up your day, guys, you know, but you guys have been very helpful to me and let me know what you want to see. Yeah. Okay, great. Yep. Mhm. Yeah, I'm with you because there's some things that I've never thought about that I found out about, right? That I would share. But YouTube channel is your, if you're starting the channel and utilizing, that's the foundation, right? To make, have more extra money streams coming from that because you're not relying on AdSense. So Google AdSense is, you know, for having your videos up and that they can put ads on, right? And then click through rates are they vary. So the highest click through rate, right? CTR is what they call it, is like if you're in the genre, the category of music or current events. That's kind of like the top two, in my opinion, that I've seen. And there might be more that get a higher rate. So say they could get, I don't know, $5, $6, $7 for a click-through rate. Like for every 1,000 views, they might get $7, right? That's very high. And then you can get as low as $1 or pennies for every 1,000 views. So yeah, it's a bonus. You always think of AdSense as a bonus because it's not consistent. There was a time I had consistency when I had maybe, I don't know, 12,000 subscribers. And, you know, there was times where I saw $3,000 for 1 month and then, you know, maybe $1,000 or $300. I mean, it was just all over the place, depending on how much your output is and how long you're keeping people to view your videos. Yeah. So lots of that, but you know, I can answer all that stuff, you know, and all the mistakes that I made and learn as I go. Still learning. And YouTube is changing so much. So every year you've probably seen those in your feeds too about, you know, YouTube is different for 2025. Yes, I would agree. But this is like the best time to start a brand new channel. I really loved being a smaller channel. I'm still a baby channel in my opinion, but I'm saying like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 subscribers. I love that time because you could really grow fast and you can get a lot of suggestions from YouTube really helping you to pump you up. They're all about the small YouTuber lately. Yeah, I like that. Hmm. Yeah. So yes, menopause, fun times, fun times. um, yeah, yeah. Yes, ma'am. The worst, I agree with you. See, I've always had chronic anxiety all my life, probably. And when I was in the service, I had a lot of trauma there. Uh, but I think, yes, and when I started, let me see, about 50, yeah, about 5 years ago, I think that's when it really went nuts. So I have manifestations, physical manifestations of anxiety, and thinking, I'm having a heart attack, thinking that, something's really wrong with me, vibrating. I actually vibrate, yeah, like a cell phone when I get high anxiety. So that just turns on like a water faucet, and it's been going on for at least 14 years that I can remember realizing that I vibrate. Yeah, so a lot of things dealing with menopause, but it does get better. I promise you, it will mellow out. But you also have to ask yourself, all right, the question of what are you willing to do to make things mellow out and get cool, calm, collective. You have to change your life in ways, little things, little small things of changing your life that are causing the anxiety to go even more awry for little things. I mean, like, you know, I remember when this first started, I was crying on a commercial, watching a commercial. Yeah, and didn't know where that came from. So that's what I mean. If it's, just all over the place. Yeah, I totally believe you should see some type of form of doctor. Like a functional doctor is really ideal because they really do deal with the hormones specifically, and they believe, holistically working with you versus say your primary care or your OBGYN. Yeah. They're, if they're holistic thinking, great. I went through 4 or 5 doctors before I felt like I got to the right OBGYN, but also a primary care that understood women changes. Yes. So, and yes, people have asked, do I do hormone therapy? I do. I do mainly bioidentical. So that definitely helped with getting things on board. And then, I kind of gradually pulled down the level of hormonal therapy, right? Lesser and lesser as time goes on. Thank you so much as well, loving choice. Thank you. Um, yeah. Oh, okay. Ron. Okay. So yeah, nice. Thank you. Thank you for both of you joining and and watching. I be learning. I be learning too. Amen to that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Ron, and your wife. Thank her too. Yeah. Yeah, Clarissa. I was saying at the beginning of this live that I am horrible at doing these demos for hair, and I know there's so many fantastic YouTubers out there that know how to do all that. It's a technical thing, right? I did one where I was actually in the shower with your camera, but I mean, from a distance, right? Um, and yeah, that's a lot of work. It takes me so long to do that, but I have no problem talking about the things that I do. And if you have any questions now, I actually brought any products that if you're curious about products, let me know. I'll talk about that right now. You're so cute. Um, so, but yeah, the hair thing. And I want to mention that about the hair. I did not wear my hair natural until I was about 20 years ago, 30 something, 35, probably around 34. Yeah, that I started wearing naturally. I I didn't think it would curl properly just because I was doing all the chemicals and doing relaxers. Yeah, I was bad girl. Yeah. But now, yeah, this is just, everyday life. Um, so, with that said, guys, I really thank you so much for getting me over this milestone. You guys are fantastic, and I want to continue the conversations. And if you have questions about, just life after 50, um, that's what the channel is all about. Is just, what am I doing here? Why, have things changed in the world, but how do we make good of it, right? Because the world has shifted, as we all know, and God always looks out for us. Yeah. Ah, yeah. Thanks, KB. I appreciate you. Oh, thanks for the yeah. Okay, and that's the one thing. Color. Yes, I do have a mixture of a color that's I was born a redhead, but I have a mixture of blonde and gray coverage because 60% of my hair, maybe more now, is gray. And I'm not ready to go gray. I mean, one day I'll do the silver thing. Yeah. But I don't think that's going to happen for a good, I don't know, 10 years. So that is the one thing I believe I need the color. I'm sorry. I just do. I appreciate you, lady. So okay, guys. Well, I think I'm going to wrap it up. I really love you guys. I like talking to you. Okay, so you gave me some ideas. I will certainly come on, if I can get at least once a month or whenever, every other week, like we talked about before, I will do that. Continue the long form videos. I try to squeeze in some of these shorts too. Again, it's just about time and having the time to do this without getting distracted with caregiving and other forms of work. And please do check out my link in the bio. It does help, trying to create more streams, right, of income, but it does support the channel and me to continue creating these videos. So I hope that you guys would check out my services. I do one-on-one coaching for accountability, fasting, weight loss, or if you just want to talk about caregiving and how we can brainstorm and figure out a strategy if you have a loved one you're taking care of in your state, because I know every state's different, finding different programs that would help with, you know, lessen the blow of money that you're forking out to take care of your parent or a child. The other thing is I do video on demand. Video on demand, if you have a really, personal question or customized response that you need from me and you just don't want to commit to a one-on-one session, I get that. Want to be budget conscious, I do have that as well. So there is a button there for video on request, so I'll return an answer to you in video format, you know a very short video, maybe 2-3 minutes, depending on the question you have. um, I love you too, BC. So cute. I love you guys. You guys are too cool. But the fasting lifestyle weight loss guide, if you feel like you're stuck and you're interested in fasting, or you've been doing fasting and just, we're at that age where we're at a stagnated position where it's not moving, I have my begin again method. Now, it's a very general concept, but at the same time, you have to do the 4 steps in combination of each other to see the scale move. And if you're interested in that, please do get a copy of my guide. I've been working on this for months, and it's not long book. And just going on and on and on. I'm trying to get to the point of how do you do this as a busy woman or man? You can do it too. But how do I shift the weight loss? Because weight loss is the number one reason, right, for having chronic illnesses. So we have to get rid of the extra weight that we don't need to carry if we can. I mean, we all have different frames and shapes and sizes, and which I love that, especially Black people. I love that. And, but we really have to make sure that even skinny fat, right? I was walking around skinny fat where I have it all in my middle area. And that's a horrible type of fat, that visceral fat, because that starts to wrap around your organs. And so we have to be really, really serious about trying to get any of that extra fat and bringing that percentage down and building up muscle. And it will help you with everything else. I'm telling you, it'll fall into place. All right. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you and I love you. And don't forget, you can always begin again. Cheers.